Hi, I'm Sam, a second year economics student at the University of Cambridge, and in this video I'm going to tell you the websites which helped me the most during my A-levels. In other words, I'm going to tell you the websites which contributed the most to my success in the A-levels of maths, physics, further maths and economics. As a quick note at the start, alongside these websites I also used the exam board websites for specification details and past papers for all of my subjects. What's more, I'll link every website I discuss in this video in the description so you can look at them if you want to go check them out. And the way I'm going to structure this video is I'm going to split it up by subject. But don't worry, everything will be timestamped down below, so skip to whichever subject applies to you most. So let's start off with further maths. Now the main website which contributed to my success in further maths would have to be Maddest Maths. And the unique, great thing about this website is the large array of past papers and practice papers that it has. Now I personally believe these papers are really good and really helpful once you've completed all the normal past papers from the exam board. And the way this website is structured in relation to these practice papers is really beneficial. So essentially they are ranked by difficulty. For instance, as you can see for the FP1 papers, papers A to R have standard difficulty, with later papers usually being more difficult. Papers S to T are extremely hard, and papers U to Z are hard. This way you can pick the papers which apply to your level of skill and your current level of competency the best. So for example, if you're struggling a bit, you'll do the papers that are more easy, and if you're really looking to push yourself, if you've done all the hard papers, you can do the ones that are really hard. And because this website has these hard and extremely hard papers, it's a great website for those of you really pushing for those top marks and those top grades. Another great thing is they have really good handwritten solutions to all of these past papers, which are really easy to follow along if you've got stuck or you don't know what to do with a particular question. Okay, now moving on to A-level physics. Now there were two big websites which actually really helped me during my time studying A-level physics, and those were Physics and Maths Tutor and Physics Online. So let's start off with Physics and Maths Tutor, a website which I imagine a lot of you are familiar with. Now for each topic in A-level physics, this website has definitions, key points and detailed notes. And these are quite useful for testing yourself or providing decent summaries of the topics at hand. They also have this flashcard feature, which I personally didn't really use, but that could be helpful as well. The best feature though, in my opinion, and the one I used most during my A-levels, was the exam questions by topic. Essentially what this does is it takes all the past papers available and it extracts the specific questions from specific topics across a large array of past papers. This way, if you're a bit weak on a particular topic or section, what you can do is really focus on the past exam questions for that section by using this feature. Again, this is really helpful when you've done a bit of past paper practice in the past and you can see what topics, what areas you're struggling on the most. And now let's talk about A-level physics online. Now they make really good videos introducing topics and concepts and explain things in a really interactive and engaging way. From memory, I believe all of first year content is free, but the second year content you may have to pay for. Luckily, I got provided with it through my school. To be honest, when looking at this website now, I think I didn't use it as much as I could have. I only really used it for the videos, but looking at the website, there seems to be a lot more features, a lot more things you can do with it, which seem really helpful. Okay, now moving on to Economics A-Level. And a big website which I used the most was Economics Help. Essentially, this is a website which provides explanations and examples for essentially all the topics covered in A-Level economics. The high level detail should be really helpful if you're struggling with a particular topic in the course. They also have good lists and sometimes a bit of explanation for evaluation, which should be really helpful for your essays. Although as a quick note, they sometimes don't fully explain all their evaluation points, which may not be completely ideal if you're looking for deeper explanations for those evaluation points. And then the second website, which I sometimes used but really didn't use that much, was Tutor2U. Like I said, I didn't use it anywhere near as much as Economics Help, but the good thing about Tutor2U is it had really good videos explaining topics, which Economics Help didn't really have. And videos are more useful for certain people. I don't really mind having to just read text, but some people really like a video, in which case I'd recommend Tutor2U. And finally, A-Level Maths. Now, I didn't really use any other website for A-Level Maths, other than the Pearson LXL exam board website to get past papers. I guess I did use Physics and Maths Tutor a little bit, the same way I did for physics. But again, I only really used this to get past paper questions, and maybe some harder questions. Just for me personally, I never really felt I had to do any more additional practice other than the exam board past papers, which is why I didn't really ever find any good websites, which I found really helpful. And that's it. Those are the websites which I believe were the most useful during my time studying for my A-levels. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.